You should be able to listen to this later. So, first off, what we're going to do is we're going to very briefly go through edit mode. So, edit mode is essentially when I would take this cube and I would edit the shapes of it. So, this could be changing the different vertexes, this could be adding faces to it, this could be splitting it up into a variety of different pieces. The way that I get into edit mode is really simple. I can have my block clicked and I can just press tab like that. Or if I want a little bit more of a descriptive way to get into edit mode, I can have my object clicked on and then I can scroll down to edit mode. And this is it. Once I'm in edit mode, you'll see that it's not necessarily the full cube that I have access to be able to select. It's each and every vertex and each and every face. And I think the thing that's like a little bit tricky here is like I can decide that I want to be in vertex selection mode, which allows me to select vertexes. I can decide that I want to be in line selection mode, which allows me to select lines. Or I can decide I want to be in face selection mode, which will allow me to select faces. So right now I'm in vertex selection mode. And if I click on one of them, I can use the three things that I've been using before: grab, scale, and rotate. Scale and rotate are really not going to do a whole lot for this vertex because rotating, it's a vertex, you know? But if I grab it, whoa, that's cool looking. Maybe I make it all the way up there. Cool. Maybe you're saying to yourself, this is great. I actually just want to control the line. The way to distinguish if you want to go to vertex selection, line selection, or face selection is right up here. Right next to edit mode, you can click on either one of these. So I'm going to click on line selection right now. And now I'm selecting a line, and I can grab it, I can scale it, and I can even rotate it. Whoa, look at that. That's pretty cool.
How did you select the line?
So up here, I just need to specify that I'm clicking on this line right here. And then I can grab it, and I can grab it on the x-axis, or I can grab it on the y-axis. Or again, this is something that I find to be a real hack. If I have my mouse, I can just press G, and then I can hold down on the, I can press G, and then I can hold down on the scroll wheel, and it'll let me click into each and every one of these axes. And then once I've clicked into the axis I actually want to move on, I just let go, and it lets me stay in that axis.
Can you add axes, like along lines?
I'm sure there is a way. One of the things you can also do is like this is a global axis. You can use a local axis, which is dependent to the orientation of the shape. Yeah, Phoenix.
Can you show the tool?
Sure. So before I show the knife tool, I'm actually going to show something that I think might be equally as helpful, which is, okay, say for instance we're in edit mode like this, right? And I bet you're saying to yourself, okay, this is great, whatever, like I get to move lines around, I get to move like points around, but I can't really like turn this into the shape that I want. I'm going to introduce two new, actually maybe three. Two or three new shortcuts that I think will make your life a gazillion times easier. The first one is Command R. Whoa, okay. So I had this selected and I pressed Command R. And what this did is it allowed and set up the first kind of loop in my loop cut. Now, if I was to scroll down on my scroll wheel, I could add a bunch of these. But let's just keep it with one right now. If I was to click down, actually my process would not be over, but it would allow me to actually scroll and decide exactly where I want this loop to be. Say, for instance, I wanted it to be over here. Now here's the really cool part. I have now created a shape that I have like 4 new faces on it, right? So if I grab this face, I'm going to get a much more complex shape just due to the fact that I've added a loop cut right there. Again, I add a loop cut by pressing Command R, and whoa, now I can choose where I want to put it. These are the two places that are available to me now. I'll choose here. I can move up or down. I think I'm going to move up here. And now I can go into face selection mode. I'm going to bring this face out a little bit more so that it's kind of cool looking like that. Whoa, I'm getting a kind of brutalist building going.
Wait, how did you do that?
All I did was I just pressed Command R. I found the place where I wanted there to be a loop cut. I moved it to the orientation that I wanted to, and then I pressed click. Now I went back over to the face selection mode, selected a face, and I moved it up or to the side or down.
Can you select multiple faces at once?
You can by shift clicking. So you're in edge selection right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, that's looking cool. Oh, cool. Is that the? I find loop cut to be a better alternative.
Okay.
So how's everybody doing with loop cut? I'll kind of walk around and check how everybody's doing. Cool. Oh, that's looking great. Woohoo! Cool. Okay.
How do you get out of edit mode? Is it an easy command?
All you need to do is press tab.
Okay.
All you need to do is press tab. And then it'll just take you back to object mode. And once you're in object mode, you can go back to just changing the entire shape. And then if I go back to edit mode, it'll just be like right here. Okay. Are you ready for the next step?
Yes.
Okay. So creating all these loop cuts is good, but I think in combination with this next tool, it actually gives us an extraordinary amount of control, which is extruding. Extruding is the process of, say for instance, taking this one face, and I'm just gonna press E right now. Whoa!
Wait, what was that?
All I did was press E. So I'm in edit mode, I choose a face, and then I press E. And wow, I have extruded a face out of that face.
Wait, what was the command?
Yeah. And then this is just selecting a face, pressing E, and then moving it. I can scale this. I can then extrude from this. Whoa, I have a little chimney going on. I can also extrude and then scale without even bringing it up. And then I can extrude down. And look at that. I got a chimney. So extrusion really works best with our face selection mode. Oh, so there are a few different ways. Which shape are you trying to turn in?
I'm just trying to get some obscure.
Okay, so there is an add-on that does this really easily. You can also loop cut it a few times and manually move those things apart.
Okay.
The add-on that I would look at is called Home Tools, and it's actually already pre-added in
Yes.
here.
How do you? I saw a video on how you do the add-ons.
So you just go to Preferences, and you go to Add-ons, and in this case it's Loop Tools.
These things.
Oh, and now I bet you're saying, okay, how do I use this? There's this weird little opening down here, and if you go to Tools, sorry, if you go to Edit, Loop Tools is right here, and I have this selected, and I can just say circle. Oh.
Okay.
But so loop cut this maybe like a few times and then press circle.
Okay, sure.
How's it going over here?
What if I want to delete faces?
If you want to delete faces, all you need to do is click on the face and press X. X is the delete button in Blender.
Can you do it? Mine is like gray.
Yeah. So which you gotta click? Which one do you want to delete? Where is these edges faces?
This is mine. This is the new wing of my tomb. Oh, what?
When you're, I'm just Zoom control. I want to just move the view like so I can.
Oh, shift and then move, and it'll pan.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay, so how's everybody feeling with loop cuts and extrusion? Okay, great. Now the last thing I want to do right here is, okay, do you guys want to do sculpting, subdivision, or mirror mod? We really have like time for one. Mirror mod is like being able to edit something symmetrically, like sculpt something symmetrically. It can be very helpful.
We do that one.
Okay, you guys want to do that one? Cool. Let's go. I'm gonna hide this guy, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna create a new cube. Okay, so I have my cube right here, and this is the kind of like interesting thing about mirror mode is at first I actually want to create a shape that is just half of something. It could be half of a cube, it could be half of a cylinder, but I need to create half of something so that I can mirror it on the other side. So in this case, I've started with a cube, really easy example. Can somebody think of a very easy command I could use to split this cube in half? Command R, great. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna press Command R, I'm gonna choose the center, and then, oh wow, that's great. Now,
Wait, how did you automatically choose the center?
I just pressed it twice.
Oh.
So I pressed select, and then it would allow me to scroll by, and I just clicked again so that it would go right in the center.
Okay.
Now, I'm actually gonna go directly into vertex mode because I wanna get rid of half of this, and I'm going to select these four, and then I'm gonna shift select and select these four, and I'm just gonna press X. Whoa, okay, now I have this hollow shell of a cube. Go to this point and let me know when you're here, when you've gotten a hollow shell of a cube.
Can you show it one more time?
Sure. So, I have my cube,
Yeah.
I've gone into edit mode, and now I'm gonna press Command R, and I'm just gonna double click right here to create a line that goes right down the center of this cube. Then, I'm going to go into the vertex selection part of my edit mode, and I'm gonna select these four vertices on the side so that I can really just delete those and have half of this shape. And I'm just gonna press X, and it says, what do you want to delete? I want to delete vertices. And look at this, we have this nice little square spot. So give me a thumbs up when you have gotten to this point. Okay, we'll wait for a few more people. If you're around some people who are working to get to there, if you could help them out, that would be great.
Wait, I hit subdivide and now mine's in 8 cubes.
Okay, so you can still do it with this. So if you go into edit mode,
Yeah, I'm in.
okay, now if you go into vertex selection mode, which is just the dot, now just select all the vertices that are on this side and delete those by pressing X. Mm-hmm.
Everything?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, great, you're perfect.
How do you select all?
On one side,
Yeah.
you can just kind of do a kind of swipe where you, yeah, something like that. Although make sure, so the way I kind of do it is I'm like, okay, I kind of got to get in the right angle, right? And then in this case, I'm like, okay, these ones. Yeah.
And then press delete.
Yeah, or
Like,
X.
making sure that I've never used the computer before.
There you go. Okay. So, alright, I'm gonna go into edit mode just by pressing tab. Now, I'm gonna press Command R to create loop in the middle.
Yeah,
Just
I
gonna
guess
double click so it goes right there.
I also probably don't
Perfect. Okay, so we have a very limited amount of time left, so I'm just gonna go through this part really quickly. So what's kind of neat about Blender is it allows for a variety of modifiers. I would say that the closest thing to compare these to in Ableton are audio effects. They take some of the vertices and faces that you have and it remixes them or reorients them in a specific way while kind of maintaining the structure that you have. In this case, I am going to add a modifier to this by making sure I'm in object mode, going to modifiers, and you're going to see this thing that says add modifiers. In my case, I want to add the mirror modifier. Where is it? It's right here. And whoa, look at that. Now it's filled out my entire shape. This might not be the case for you because you might have to change the axis that it is mirroring it on.
Wait, where did you? I'm sorry. Where?
So I'll go through this one more time. I have my half shape, and I have clicked on the little wrench down here. This is kind of where I get the audio effects for my shapes. These are the modifiers for my shapes. And there's a lot. There's some that turn things into a screw.
My things are
Why are they so far away?
they're linked.
Oh, okay. So,
I don't, why are they linked?
what is it? I think it's like if you do
Wait, where did you edit this?
this.
No way, I got
I'll come back to this in a second. Let's but so I just wanna take one more second. So I have my shape selected. I'm going to the little wrench, and now I'm going to add modifier, and I'm going to mirror. With the mirror modifier on, you now see that my shape is filled out. You might have to change the axis so that it matches your orientation. It might be on a different axis. But once I've done this, I can go into edit mode and I can say, hey, I want to extrude this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Actually, it's interesting you bring that up. This is how most people model humans. They will split the head and they'll start to work in this regard. So in this way, and I'm going to click on this side axis right here, I now have the ability to be able to create really interesting symmetrical shapes. And then modifiers are also really good because I can add things like subdivision surface.
Are you recording this? Or
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Whoa.
And look at that. Now I'm doing that, but I can still use the same really simple shape that I'm using to sculpt this.
How did you do this move thing again? Yeah. Wait, you're
That was by adding a subdivision surface modifier. Okay, so all this information is in the tutorials. Your animations are due on Tuesday. If you have any questions, like if you have any specific questions, email me and I will respond. And I can also stick around for like the next few minutes if people have specific questions as well. Oh, everybody, let's see if the song didn't. I will send the song once it gets generated later today.
Your mirror thing is gonna be on your Notion, right? The thing you just did.
I know it's on one of the videos, but I don't think it's on the videos that I've actually included to you. So I will make a video going through turbo script, mirror modifier, and then subdivision surface modifier is already on.
Could you do a video of like literally exactly what you just did now, where you like make the mid body with like extrusions and stuff
Sure.
like that? Okay.
Yeah. There's a video that's kind of like that.
I wasn't. It was taking me. I was following along at 0.5 speed. So.
Okay, good to know. All right, let's see.
We also already ordered it. I think it's like a right here.
Yeah. Thanks. See you, Duncan. Thank you.
See ya. See ya.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Thank you, Duncan.
Why is it
See ya.
not Is this the one for?
Okay, so smooth is in it.
These are really
I'm gonna
cool
get rid of
shows.
this. It is something called subdivision surface. Whoa, okay, so this is interesting. What's interesting about subdivision surface is that it is an averaging of the places I was looking for, but it is an averaging of all those vertices. So like simple, they're like exactly the same, but this has more vertices on it. And this algorithm is actually averaging the location of those ones onto here. And the more that you add this, the more computationally expensive it's gonna get because you're calculating a ton more bases.
That looks so cool. Like a space orchid.
And you can
Whoa.
move all these things around. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, it's ready.
Yeah. Oh, you want to hear it?
Yeah. Yes.
I got one in April. Yeah. 25th. I got
Okay.
one.
Wait, this is kind of fire. Okay, never mind.
I just want I want to hear like the sound bites chorus.
This is the Taylor Swift effect.
Yeah. This one's called, and then this is join the sound bites. Let's.
Very K-poppy.
Yeah. You can upload audio for it to model off of too. But same question.
Come along, kids, let's join the fun. In our class called It's Sound of One, learning's just begun.
Okay.
Can you send them?
Yeah, I'll send them.
Thank you.
All right. See, but same question. Like, if there's an allegory of the cave for those images, what's the allegory of the cave for kids who are only listening to this, right? Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. See you guys.
Have a nice weekend.